workers' protection should be a precondition if we want to see sustainable productivity. And as such, that should comfort all of us who are either workers or who are being employed, that when you have a staff, it is really incumbent upon you that you buy that staff a policy to protect this person. Because when you do that, it means that your company will ensure income stability. In case of anything happening to this staff, you will be sure that someone else will pay for all the expenses regarding this staff who has gotten problems. You will also be sure that this staff will not be held home as you mobilize money to take him or her to hospital, because at least there is someone who must make sure that he foots that bill, because we know what workers' compensation does. But also, we are sure that the family of this person will not be suffering during the time this person is either incapacitated or he's out of sight. We have many workers, many employers whose workers are always on the road. And that means the chances of those people getting accidents are high. And now when one gets an accident and he doesn't have a workers' compensation policy or is not insured, it means that the family of that person can suffer as soon as that person gets a permanent incapacity or he eventually dies. So it is something which we must make sure that we do for our businesses not to be disrupted, but at the same time for the gains of our businesses to remain stable and we are sure of what is happening tomorrow. So workers' compensation policy, as you may be aware, was put in place by an act of parliament, and it was made mandatory for every employer. Unfortunately, I don't know, maybe the people in the Ministry of Gender, but I highly suspect that all civil servants, including the ones who manage the Workers' Compensation Act in the Ministry of Gender, do not have the workers' compensation policy. That is a little bit funny, but I also want to call upon you that we must demand our employers to give us what they must give us. I know the honorable judges, my lords from the industrial courts and others, get these cases day in, day out. And why was workers' compensation put in place? Because we want certainty that in case I get an accident, I am sure someone else will be there to pay for the damage I have suffered. And in case my employee gets an accident, I'll be sure that at least if this person is off for whatever time because he's undergoing treatment and eventually it might be a temporary disability, at least as a worker, as an employer, for the person who will substitute this person, I have somewhere to pick the money from. And therefore, for us as the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda, we have made it a policy that different policies have different timelines within which a claim must be sorted.